Today's video features 1 full week of meal prepping, breakfast, lunch, dinner and snack recipes to help you lose or maintain your weight the healthy way. Now, meal prepping is ideal if you're a very busy person who is trying to lose or maintain a healthy weight while eating healthy and nourishing homemade meals. This meal prep session features 4 breakfast recipes, 3 lunch recipes, 3 dinner recipes, and 2 snack recipes. And just in case this video gets a little too overwhelming for you, I have compiled these recipes into a PDF that contains the ingredient list with exact measurements and full procedures for each of the recipes. You would also find details of calorie count per recipe, the serving size per each recipe, the cooking time and other macronutrient details for each of the recipes. And of course, you can access this PDF by clicking the link in the description box down below. Now, these are the only pots and pans that I'll be using to prep all of the meals. Now, prepping all of these meals took me about 2.5 hours because we had to film it. It can take you longer or it can take you lesser depending on your ingredient prep skills and your multitasking skills as well. But it shouldn't take that long because the recipes are very easy to make and very straightforward as well. Now, we will begin by prepping the breakfast recipes, which includes a breakfast smoothie, a protein-packed overnight oats recipe, another protein-packed breakfast smoothie, and a golden skillet potato recipe. Now, these are the ingredients that I'll be using to make all of these 4 breakfast recipes. It's also very important that you invest in very cute meal prep containers because they make meal prepping very easy. And these are the ones that I'll be using to store my breakfast today. The first breakfast smoothie will be enjoyed on Monday and Sunday, and for this I'll just simply prep all of the fruits that I'll be using and then I'll transfer them to my mason jars. Now, I'm using some apples and bananas, and I'm just peeling up the bananas and cutting up the apples into tiny chunks. When I'm done with the prepping of the fruits, all that's left to do is just assemble this up in the mason jar. I'll begin by adding the oats, then the apples, banana, some creamy yogurt, and then some honey as well. I'll do this for the 2 mason jars. Then afterwards, I'll close the mason jars and then place them in the freezer or fridge if you have a very cold fridge. Now, I'm repeating the same thing for the protein-packed smoothie recipe as well, which will be enjoyed on Saturday. All of the ingredients go in the mason jar, and then I'll close it again and place it in the fridge or freezer. Now, when it's time to enjoy my smoothie, all I'll do is just take it out of the freezer, transfer it to a blender, add some milk or any liquid of choice, and then blend it until it is nicely blended, and then I'll pour it back into the mason jar and enjoy. This is a perfect on-the-go breakfast, and I tell you, it literally takes you all of 1 to 2 minutes to get this prepped and ready to go in the morning. That is if you have performed this meal prep activity. Now, we have 2 breakfast recipes all done. Let's move right along to the third one, which is a simple protein-packed overnight oats recipe that will be enjoyed on Tuesday and Thursday. Now, just place the oats, chia seeds, cinnamon, flax seeds, peanut butter, Greek yogurt, some honey, and milk in your meal prep containers, and then mix everything up together to combine. Then cover the meal prep containers and place in the fridge. Now, the longer this sits in the fridge, the creamier and yummier it will get. You don't have to cook this again when it's time to eat it. All you have to do is just take it out of the fridge and it's ready to be enjoyed. Now, this is the third recipe all done and ready to go. I think that we're making very great progress already. The fourth breakfast is a golden skillet potato recipe that will be enjoyed on Wednesday and Friday. Start by cutting up the Irish potatoes into very fine dices and then set it off to the side and start prepping the vegetables. I'm using some bell peppers and onions as my vegetables of choice for this recipe, but again, you can use whatever vegetables that your heart desires. I also cracked open some eggs in a bowl, added some salt and mixed it up together to combine, and I'm setting it off to the side as well. Now, when all of the ingredients have been prepped for this, it's time to start the actual cooking process. Start by cooking up the potatoes in some water and season with a little bit of salt and just cook until they're slightly tender but not fully cooked. Okay, now while it is cooking, we will get started on the eggs. I'm simply making an omelette that will be served with the golden skillet potatoes. Just drizzle some oil in the pan, then pour the whisked eggs into the pan and allow it to set until it is completely set. When it is all done, just take it off the heat and set it off to the side. Back to the potatoes. When they're all done, take it out of the pot and then in the same pan that you used to make the egg omelette, drizzle some power or pure vegetable oil and then add the potatoes. Ensure that the potatoes are not overlapping each other. Allow it to brown on one side before flipping things around. Then add the onions, some pepper, seasonings and then some salt to taste, and then mix everything together to combine and stir fry for 1 minute before adding the vegetables. Now after adding the vegetables, you can stir fry again for another 1 minute to soften things up and then fully cook the potatoes through. Okay, after doing that, you can take it off the heat. Now remember that I have compiled the ingredients with exact measurements in the food procedure, including the calorie count for each of the recipes and some other important information as well in a PDF for you to make it very easy, so you can access it using the link in the description box down below for a very little amount of money. Okay, now it's time to serve the fourth breakfast recipe. What I did was I simply divided the golden skillet potatoes and the egg omelette into 2 equal portions and served them in their individual plates, and then I drizzled a simple white sauce right on top of it, and that's breakfast for Wednesday and Friday all done. Now this keeps very well in the fridge, and in my opinion, the longer it sits in the fridge, the yummier and tastier it actually gets. Just ensure that your fridge is very cold and working at an optimum level. Moving right along to the lunch recipes. Now these are all of the ingredients that we'll be needing to make our 3 different lunch recipes. For lunch for this 1 week meal prep, we'll be eating quinoa stir fry with sauteed vegetables and a creamy sauce, and then a minced turkey sauce with brown rice and sauteed veggies, and then some minced chicken patties served with vegetable salad. We will begin with the simple minced chicken patties with the creamy vegetable salad recipe, which will be enjoyed for lunch on Wednesday and then for dinner on Thursday. Okay, now start by placing all of the vegetables in a bowl and using some carrots, cabbage, sweet corn, bell peppers. You can use whatever vegetables that you like, okay? Just toss it all up together, then add any salad dressing of your choice. I'm just using some simple mayonnaise, and I added a little bit of salt to taste. Mix everything together to combine, then set it up to the side while you prep the chicken patties. For the chicken patties, place some chicken breast pieces on a board and then cut into small chunks before mincing. Alternatively, you can either mince this in a food processor, or you can just make your life very easy by buying some store-bought minced chicken from the store, okay? When you're done mincing the chicken, add some tuna fish to eat as well. Now this is a high protein lunch recipe, and that's why I'm including some tuna fish to this as well. Then season this lightly with some garlic powder, cumin powder, paprika powder, chili pepper, seasoning cube, cornstarch, and then salt to taste. Mix everything together to combine. Then afterwards, divide these into equal parts and form them into patties. Remember that you can get the full ingredient list with exact measurements and procedure, including calorie count, macronutrients details, serving size, cooking time, and a whole lot of other information that you'll be needing. Just check the description box down below for the link on how you can access the very comprehensive and well-detailed PDF. Now move over to the stovetop and drizzle some oil in a pan. Allow to heat up slightly, then add the patties. Allow the chicken patties brown on one side for about 2 to 3 minutes, then you flip over to the other side and allow to brown as well. Then at the final 2 minutes of cooking, just reduce the heat to the lowest, cover the pan and allow this to steam up gently so that it cooks completely on the inside before taking it off the heat. When it's time to serve this up, what I'll be doing is I'll portion the salad and the minced patties in separate bowls to make it easy to warm up the patties without heating up the salad when it's time to enjoy it. The second lunch recipe is a stir-fry quinoa served with sauteed vegetables and a very creamy sauce. We'll be using some chicken breasts to make the sauce, and then I'm just starting off by cutting them into tiny bite-sized pieces. When I'm all done, I'm going to set it off to the side. I strongly advise that before you start any cooking process or any cooking activity, always ensure that you have all of your ingredients prepped and ready to go to avoid any form of confusion, and of course it will save you a lot of time as well. Now start by cooking the quinoa. I'm simply cooking the quinoa in some water, and then I added some salt to taste as well. Remember that I've compiled the ingredient list with exact measurements, the procedure, cooking time, serving size, calorie count for each of the recipes. Again, you can get the PDF in the description box down below, okay? While the quinoa is cooking, we'll get started on the sauce. Start by drizzling some power oil, pure vegetable oil in a pan, and then allow it to heat up slightly. Then add the chicken pieces and season with just a tiny bit of salt, and then begin stir frying it immediately until it has lost all of its pinkness. Afterwards, take it out of the pan and set it off to the side. In the same pan, drizzle more oil and then add some onions, garlic and pepper and saute till it's nice and fragrant for about 45 seconds to a minute before adding the tomato paste, and then you stir fry this again for another 1 minute. Next up, you add the chopped fresh tomatoes along with the seasonings and the salt. Mix everything together to combine and then leave this to just cook for 4 to 5 minutes on medium to low heat until it is nice and dry. Afterwards, pour in some coconut milk, or you can use any liquid of your choice, but I'd advise that you make it a coconut milk because it's nice and creamy. Then mix everything together to combine. I'm also adding the cooked chicken pieces back into the pan at this point to continue cooking in the sauce for another 5 to 6 minutes. Now at this time, the quinoa should be ready. What I'll do is I'll take the quinoa off the heat, and then while the sauce is cooking on another burner, we will actually get started on making the stir-fry quinoa. Multitasking is part of the game when you are meal prepping. It makes your whole life a whole lot easy, and it saves you a lot of time. So you need to get your multitasking game on point if you're looking to meal prep quickly, okay? Now for the quinoa stir fry, add some oil in a pan, and then again, as usual, onions, pepper, garlic, and then saute until it is nice and fragrant. Then add some diced red bell peppers, green bell peppers, sweet corn. You can pretty much use any vegetables of your choice, and I'm also seasoning this very lightly. Then you stir fry for 1 minute before adding the cooked quinoa into the pot along with a tiny drizzle of dark soy sauce. Mix everything together to combine, then leave to steam for an extra 1 minute before taking it off the heat immediately. Now at this point, the sauce should be done as well. I'd also set it off to the side and then get started on the third lunch recipe. We will serve everything up together when we are done with all of the lunches, okay? Now cook up some white rice, or you can use brown rice if that's what you have, in some water, and of course add some salt to taste. And then while that is cooking, we will get started on the minced turkey sauce. Drizzle some oil in a pan and then add the minced turkey and season lightly with some salt. Then begin crumbling it up immediately and then continue to stir fry until it has lost all of its pinkness. Afterwards, as usual, add some onions, pepper and garlic and stir fry until it is nice and fragrant. One thing I'd advise during your meal prep session is whatever ingredients that you're using a lot of, it's important to just meal prep or ingredient prep a big batch of it. So this onions and garlic and pepper has repeated itself a lot of times, so it's advisable to just meal prep a lot of it before you start cooking, okay? Afterwards, just add some diced fresh tomatoes along with the tomato paste and then the seasonings. Again, remember that you can get the full ingredients in the PDF that I've compiled along with procedure and other vital information. The link will be in the description box down below. Mix everything together to combine, then cover the pot and leave this to cook for 7 to 8 minutes. After it's done cooking, I'm going to add my liquid of choice, and for this I'm going to be using some coconut milk again because I like it nice and creamy, and I'm also going to be using a little bit of water. Mix everything together to combine and then continue cooking this for a final 5 minutes. The rice should be perfectly cooked at this point. I'm just going to simply fluff it with my fork and then take it off the heat and set it off to the side. Now, while the minced turkey sauce is still cooking, we will get started on the final component for our lunch, which is the sauteed leafy vegetables. All you have to do is place a pot on the stovetop and then drizzle some power of pure vegetable oil and allow it to heat up slightly. Afterwards, again, add the onions, pepper and garlic into the pot and then saute until it is nice and fragrant. And then add some fresh tomatoes and season lightly again with some seasoning cube and salt. Mix everything together to combine, then cover the pot and leave this to cook for about 3 to 4 minutes. Finally, add the leafy vegetables and using some effortete, which are just green vegetables and kale leaves, and then before mixing it up, I allow it to steam for about 1 minute to make it easy to mix it up in the pot. And then afterwards I go ahead to mix, and immediately I'm done mixing, I take it off the heat and set it off to the side. Again, like I said, multitasking is essential for meal prepping, so you need to get your multitasking skill on point, okay? At this point, the turkey sauce should be done. We were finally ready to assemble our lunch recipes together. Now, these are the containers that I'll be using to pack my lunch recipes. The stir-fried quinoa with sauteed veggies and the sauce will be enjoyed on Monday, Thursday, and Sunday. So I'm dividing it into 3 equal portions. The minced turkey with rice and veggies will be enjoyed on Tuesday, Friday, and Saturday. So again, I'm dividing that into 3 equal portions. Then the minced chicken patties will be enjoyed on Wednesday and for dinner on Thursday. So I'm just going to be dividing that equally as well. Remember again that I have compiled the full ingredients with exact measurements and procedure for all of the recipes, including the calorie count and other vital information that you need. And you can simply access it by using the link in the description box down below. It's going to cost just a little bit, but I definitely know that it's worth it and you will find it very helpful if you are going to engage in this 1-week meal prep activity. Now that's our lunch recipes all done. Again, like I said, all of the meals that I'm sharing in this 1-week meal prep are meals that keep very well in the fridge. And again, to be honest with you, the longer it sits in the fridge, the yummier and tastier it gets. Just ensure that your fridge is working at an optimum level, okay? Moving right along to the dinner recipes, these are all the ingredients you'll be needing to make the remaining 2 dinner recipes. Prepping before cooking makes cooking super duper easy. So ensure that you always prep your ingredients first before you start the actual cooking process, okay? We'll begin with the chicken and egg frittata recipe. And guys, this recipe can also be enjoyed as breakfast if you wish, okay? Drizzle some oil in the pan and then add all of the veggies. I'm using bell peppers, carrots, sweet corn, and then I'm adding some fresh pepper and seasonings and salt. Again, you can use whatever veggies that you desire. Mix everything together to combine. Stir fry for 1 minute just to soften up the veggies slightly. I'm also adding some cooked turkey pieces. Now these are just some that I saved after stir frying the minced turkey that we use for that minced turkey sauce. I just saved some for this egg frittata, okay? Now stir fry everything again for another minute and take it off the heat. Crack open some eggs in a bowl and then season with some salt. Whisk everything together to combine. Then add the vegetables and mix again to combine. In the same pan, just drizzle a little tiny bit of oil and then pour in the egg mixture. Cover with some foil and then place the lid on it. Then reduce the heat to the lowest and then leave this to firm up for about 20 minutes. Alternatively, you can use an oven or an air fryer if you own one. Now while that is cooking, we will get started on the okra soup pepper soup. All you have to do is just add some palm oil into a pot along with the usuals, onions, pepper, garlic, and stir fry for a few seconds. Afterwards, add the crayfish powder, pepper soup spice, and seasoning powder, and then mix everything to combine again. Allow it to fry for about 30 seconds just to wake up the nice aroma. Then you add some water, cayenne pepper, and some salt to taste. Mix to combine again, then cover and leave to cook for 5 minutes. Afterwards, open the pot and add the ejakika fish pieces, or you can use any fish of your choice, then continue to cook for another 3 minutes. After that, I'm adding some blended okra into the pot. Just cover again and leave to cook for 1 minute before adding some chopped okra. Now remember that this is okra soup pepper soup. So we're not going to be adding a lot of okra because we want this very runny and liquidy, okay? Finally, add some scent leaves and more fresh pepper if you desire for an extra spicy kick. Then mix everything together one final time before taking it off the heat. At this point, the frittata should be ready as well. Take it off the heat and allow it to cool down completely. Then it will be time to serve. The okra soup pepper soup will be enjoyed on Monday, Wednesday, and Saturday and can be served just as is, or you can enjoy it with some swallow, okay? The frittata will be served on Tuesday, Friday, and Sunday. And of course, the chicken patties and salad that we made when we were making the lunch will be enjoyed on Thursday. Now, all of these recipes, like I've said before, keep so well in the fridge. And remember that you can get the full ingredients with the exact measurements, the full procedure, calorie count for each of the recipes, macronutrient details, cooking time, serving size, picture representation of each recipe in the PDF that I've compiled, and then you can have access to it by clicking the link in the description box down below. And finally, guys, for the snack recipes, we're going to begin with the oats and banana cookies. Just mash up some bananas in a bowl, then add some oats, tiger nut flour. If you want to know how I made this tiger nut flour, check out the video we uploaded on the channel last week. There is a detailed tutorial there for you. I'm also adding some honey, and then I mix everything together to combine. Afterwards, just scoop out individual bite-sized pieces of this and place on a baking pan that's lined with parchment paper. Flatten it out with the back of a spoon and then bake in a 350 degrees preheated oven for about 15 minutes or until it is nicely brown. When you're done, just take it out of the oven and place it on your countertop and allow it to rest for a few minutes. Afterwards, it should be crispy and firm on the outside but very soft and moist on the inside. Store them in your meal prep container and place in the fridge. It keeps so well in the fridge. The second one is a no-bake energy ball snack, and all you do is in a processor add some oats, some coconuts, tiger nut flour. Again, you can get the recipe for the tiger nut flour in the video we posted last week. I'm also going to be adding some chia seeds, flax seeds, peanut butter, and honey. Remember, this is a no-bake energy ball, okay? That's why we're using all of these ingredients. Cover the processor and then blitz till all the ingredients are fully crumbled and mixed together. Afterwards, just roll it into bite-sized balls. It should hold really nicely. If you use the exact quantity that I shared in the PDF, then store in meal prep containers and then in the fridge. And that's pretty much all of the snacks for this weight loss or weight maintenance healthy meal prep for 1 week. Now, this meal prep is designed to ensure that you're not starving yourself throughout the day and are getting enough energy to go through your day, all the while maintaining a calorie deficit. It's also designed to ensure you are enjoying a balanced diet every day. The meals are very easy to prepare and beginner friendly. And the meals keep well and stay fresh in the fridge and can easily be microwaved or heated up over the stove top or the microwave if necessary. And what you'll be needing to do is just write out your shopping list, go shopping, purchase some meal prep bowls, which will come in very handy for a lifetime. And you need a minimum of 1.5 hours or a maximum of 2.5 hours if you're quick to prepare all of your meals. And then of course you'll be needing some clean pots and pans and then a lot of love and patience in your heart. Trust me, this meal prep will come in very, very, very handy for you if you're a busy person but still want to eat healthy homemade meals to nourish your body right and help you achieve your weight goals. And my job here is done. I hope you found this video very helpful. If you did, kindly leave me a comment in the comment section down below. I'd love to know if you'd love me to make more of this kind of videos. Alright family, that's all I have for you. I'll see you again next time. Until then, take care.